And I'm her daughter, Mickey.
And welcome to KiddieNomics! Yay! We have another fun edition of Kids Financial Literacy. So, hi Cheryl, so awesome to have you on, seeing you in the chat, yay. Everybody's joining in now, so hi Anne, hi everybody. All right, so as usual, before we get started, let me share my screen. All right, hold on. Here we go. All right, there we go. So, welcome to KiddieNomics. I would like to welcome all of the new kiddies that have signed up today for Kids Financial Literacy Fridays. So welcome. If you are new, you can let everybody know this is your first time in the chat, and the kids will welcome you there in the chat. And of course, welcome back to all our returning kiddies that are here week after week. We are so happy to have you. So should I do roll call now? Should I do roll call and see where everybody's joining us from? What countries you guys are joining us from? Should I do roll call now? Yeah, let's do roll call. Okay, in the chat, put in which country you are joining us from today.
Mars.
Oh, we're still in the space thing. Okay, cool. Let me see. Canada. Blake says Mars.
We actually learned Mars yesterday.
Oh, you learned about Mars yesterday and today, so maybe that's why everybody's picking Mars. We have a couple of Jupiters. Let me see. Abia, you have Nigeria. Yay! Khalifa, you have Canada. Welcome. Maya is from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Woohoo! Welcome back, Maya. Yeah, on KiddieNomics. Mahalia is from Canada. Cheryl, the land of cold, Canada. Joy says France. Welcome. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Let me see. Who else? Oh, we have England. Is that you? That's from Micah. Hi, Micah. Let me see. Who else?
I knew it.
Joy.
I knew it. It was so familiar because she switched.
Yes, Joy tricked us this week. Oh, bonjour, Blake, bonjour. Hi, Micah. All right, so let's get started. That was super fun. All right, so for everybody that is joining today, welcome. And let me get to the next slide. All right, so let's talk about what is KiddieNomics. KiddieNomics will help kids ages 8+ to develop a healthy relationship towards financial literacy, helping to start kids off on the right path to have a successful financial future. That's what we want for you. That's what we want for you. That's what she wants for me. This is what KiddieNomics is all about, is to give you guys the skills and the tool set to, do whatever it is that you choose that you want to be as you grow into your adulthood. And financial literacy is a key core component of that. So this week on KiddieNomics, we are super excited to have back the phenomenal Miss Jane. Yay, we're so awesome. We're so excited to have her back. She's going to be talking about your mindset is everything. Everything. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into Miss Jane and her topic for today, let me do the house clearing items. Okay, so please remember, we always like to maintain a very safe community here on KiddieNomics. So if this is your first time or if you're returning, please, no, hold on. Because please also remember to never put any personal information about you. So I don't want to see, ages, phone numbers, email addresses, your exact address, your anything in the chat. It's really there to, answer the questions from our experts and to communicate, with the other kiddies that are in the chat. Okay. So also please remember that every single KiddieNomics webinar is recorded. So yes, we are recording right now. And because of that, we cannot see or hear any of you kiddies. So the only way for you to chat with us is through the chat box down below, up above, to the side. So I don't know where your chat box is. Mine is up above.
Maybe to the corner.
Maybe it's in the corner. So if you do have a question, you can raise your hand but you gotta chat, you gotta put your question in the chat box, okay? So that I can get to the question. And if you've seen that I've gone for a while and I haven't been able to get to your question, then just put it back in the chat box for me and I will make sure that we do get to your question. So just keep that in mind, okay? Also, as I said, that we do record every single webinar. So this webinar will be uploaded to our KiddieNomics YouTube channel by 8 p.m. tonight. So that's, yeah, as always, that's Eastern Standard Time. So you'll be able to watch back this webinar. And then, of course, sometimes if I do miss your question or you missed, you know, the very beginning or maybe the end, you can always watch this back. And all of our other webinars that we have on our KiddieNomics channel, we have a multitude there, right?
Over 1 million videos.
No, we don't. Not a million videos. All right, let's get into Miss Jane. So we are so excited to have her back on KiddieNomics. Miss Jane has been on KiddieNomics a few times. She first did a KiddieNomics webinar about how to write a resume. And then her other KiddieNomics session was about, now that you've written your resume, maybe they've called you in for a job interview. So how to prepare for a job interview. And now this KiddieNomics webinar is all about your mindset. So whether or not you are at work or at play or at home, your mindset is everything. So let me introduce Miss Jane. Miss Jane Janniere is a veteran career and interview coach with just over 20 years of experience. Prior to starting her own boutique staffing firm, Jane worked for the largest global specialized staffing agency for 17 years in various management capacities. She is the founder and CEO of her boutique staffing agency called Higher Altitude. I love that name. Higher Altitude is a boutique staffing firm that specializes in the placement of accounting, finance, cybersecurity, and information security professionals on a full-time basis. Jane is also passionate and has a special interest in working and representing women and youth of color to help them overcome the barriers they may face when trying to advance themselves in the workplace. So Jane is super special and super awesome, and she loves talking about superpowers.
We do. I do love talking about
it. All right, so let's introduce Miss Jane. Miss Jane, thank you for coming on KiddieNomics. Your big KiddieNomics welcome. I will stop sharing my screen. There we go. Hi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me, KiddieNomics. I love being here with you, Miss Stacy and Mickey. It's my favorite place to be on a Friday night.
Yay.
I'm just going to share my screen. And we're going to get into this. Who's ready for some exciting information?
We are.
Yes, in the chat, if you're excited about today's presentation.
Jenna says me. Maya says me.
Oh my goodness, now where's my presentation?
Oh, all the kids are saying me. So Mahalia, Blake, Adonis, Godswill, let me see, Khalifa, Joy, all of them say me. Rain says me. Anne says me. I love it.
Hey, well, I'm going to need everybody's participation today in the chat. And today we're going to talk about, so I just wanted to first thank you so much, KiddieNomics, for having me. So today's guide, we're going to talk about what the word attitude means and why is a good attitude important and how can you identify somebody with a good attitude. Now, some people call it an attitude, some people call it a positive mindset. That's kind of the grown-up word. So if you want to use a grown-up word and impress your parents today, you're going to talk about having a positive mindset, okay? Otherwise known as a positive attitude. Okay, but first, before we get into that, as Miss Stacy mentioned, who is Jane Janniere? I am a recruiter, a staffing specialist, and a career coach, and a business owner of my boutique staffing firm called Higher Altitude. But even before that, I'm first a mom, a sister, a daughter, and an auntie. And I have one of my very special nieces, Maya, here today as well. So I'm really excited that Maya is here with us. All right, so I'm just going to quickly talk about what does a recruiter do? Does anybody know what a recruiter does? Now, for all of you that are new, maybe you can put it in the chat because some of the other people that I've been here with before know what a recruiter does. Who can tell me quickly what is it that Miss Jane does for a living? Does anybody know in the chat what a recruiter does?
Miss Jane, can you go back one slide? A couple of the kids wanted to see the definitions again. Is it that slide? Is that Kamoya? Is this slide that you're talking about? I think, let me see. Okay, well, before she answers, oh yeah, so she was writing this. She wanted to see what that was.
Why
Okay.
is it out? Okay.
No, it's not that slide. The next slide. This slide, Kamoya?
I think it's the other one.
I think it's going the other way. Yes.
That one.
That one? All right. I think it's that one. Yes. All right. I guess she wants to know more about you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I think you can now go to your other slide.
Okay. So under the umbrella of recruiter, there's staffing specialist, career coach, and business owner. But I was asking, does anybody know? Can anybody put in a chat what a recruiter does?
So Micah says, oh, sorry, Mickey has an answer. Micah says records people for jobs.
Okay.
That's an awesome answer. Mickey, what's your answer?
Takes people's ideas and put them in takes people's idea and put them in takes people's
ideas. I guess helps
and put them into work
and put them into
Some, like,
into their jobs.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what is it that they're looking for?
Okay. Anybody else?
Blake says to employ. A recruiter recruits people. Let me see. Hire people to work, says Anne. They add people to a group, says LG
Okay.
Style 04. Khalifa says they recruit people for jobs. Is it someone who finds jobs for people? Mike is asking.
All the answers are right.
Yay!
Yeah, so here's what a recruiter does. This is what I've been doing for a long time. I help companies find new employees. I help candidates or employees find new jobs. I introduce candidates to managers, and I review and screen resumes, and I do skills matching. So I look at how well you do in your favorite thing that you love to do and match that with a job or with a company that's looking for a person that can do whatever your superpower might be. So that's what I do as a recruiter. So part of being a recruiter is it doesn't matter about the skills that you know how to do. What's most important to companies today is people's attitudes, their new employees' attitudes. So I'm sure your parents have said to you, oh, you know what, I don't like your attitude. Put in the chat box if your parents or your aunts or your uncles have said, I don't like your attitude. Give me a yes, Jane, if that's the case.
Mickey says yes.
Anybody else?
Micah says yes. Mahalia, Logan, Cheryl, yes, Miss Jane. Mahalia, I said Mahalia. Joy, yes, Miss Jane. Anne says yes. Madeline says a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Jenna wanted you to go back a slide. So, but okay, kids, we're gonna record this, so don't worry. There you go. I think this is the slide that you want, Jenna. So if this is the slide that you want, that's awesome.
To help
But
you,
don't
just take a picture and then after you can copy.
Yes, so
Yeah.
Michaela says you can take a screenshot.
That's a great idea, Mickey.
Right? That's awesome.
Hey, I'm glad that you guys like the slides. So yes, so part of my job and our parents' job and your teacher's job and maybe later on your boss's job is they have to check your attitude. And I'm going to teach you too how you're going to check your parents' attitude, your sister's attitude, your brother's attitude, your friend's attitude. We'll talk a little bit about that. But right now, people are coming to you and saying, I don't like your attitude. So I'm going to talk about how I do that. So attitude, what is it? Let's talk about it. What is this thing called attitude anyway? Anybody can tell me? What is attitude? What does it mean?
Mickey has an answer. Go ahead, Mick.
Mickey, tell us.
It's something when you have emotion, and
Okay.
it's like when you use that emotion, how the way, like if you're angry, and it's like when you're angry and you use it in a different type of way.
Okay. It might bring
And
on
you
an
put it
attitude.
into
So
that-
maybe how you're feeling
Yeah.
about something, how you're feeling turns into maybe an attitude. Is that what you mean, Mickey?
Mhm.
Awesome. Anybody else can tell me what an attitude is?
So Anne says how you behave.
How you behave.
Alpha says how you act.
Okay.
Maya says a way someone expresses their mood.
Ooh,
Moya says
Maya.
attitude is how you behave. Blake
Okay.
says when you talk back and be
Be
mean.
Okay.
Kamoya says your behavior. Logan says attitude is how you behave. Maya says, okay, I did that one for you, Maya. Joy says the way you react and your emotions. Jenna says how you're acting. Micah, the way you act towards something or someone. Madeline says emotions. And Mustafa says it's your vibe.
It's your vibe. Your attitude is your vibe. I like that one. I like that a lot. Let's see. So in the dictionary, your attitude, or the definition of the word attitude, is a feeling or a way of thinking that affects a person's behavior. So how many attitudes do you think you can have? Do you think, put in the chat, yes, Miss Jane, if you think you can have more than one type of attitude? Or do you think you can just only have a good attitude? Do you think you could only have a bad attitude? How many people feel that you can have more than one attitude, or is there just one?
I think you can have more than one attitude.
Mickey says she thinks you can have more than one attitude. Blake
Okay.
says 5. You can have 5 attitudes. Logan says yes. Codswell says yes. Maya says yes. Anne says yes, Miss Jane, and more than one. Ivia says 20,000.
Yeah.
Valerie says more. Jenna says yep. Mustafa says sometimes I am productive, other times I'm. Mustafa, are we talking about this chat? Are we talking about this? Cheryl says your emotions affect your behavior. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Kamoya says,
What?
I'm not sure if that's even a trillion. I think that's a gazillion.
Wow, but you know what? Sometimes as people, we do feel lots of different emotions and feelings, and those feelings will affect our attitude. So let's see. So what type of feelings, I guess, can affect your attitude? So someone said a trillion of them, but what kinds of things or what types of feelings do you think can affect your attitude? Who can put in the chat box some things that you would feel that could make your attitude be one way or another way?
So Mickey has an answer, and then I'll read all the kids' answers. Go ahead.
Excuse me, sorry.
Angry or sad.
Angry or sad, yeah, that might be one. We'll see in a moment.
Okay, so Kamoya says anger. Blake says when you're mad. Anne says all of them. Cheryl says as much as you feel. Logan says anger, sadness, how someone acts towards you, happiness. Oh, from Joy. The other one was from Maya. Logan, happy. Kamoya says, well, actually, all of them. Yep. Madeline says sad, angry. Elias says anxious. That's an awesome word.
Oh, that's a good one.
Madeline says frustrated. Mustafa says being sad, mad, lonely, happy, relaxed, stressed. Woohoo! Yes. Wow. Joy says depressed. And then Blake says, Mahalia says sad. Blake says being annoyed or distracted. And then Maya says flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted could give you an attitude. Okay.
Yeah, I always like that word.
So let's see. All right, so here are some faces that have different attitudes, right? Some of them are happy. Some of them look like they're in a little bit of a timeout. Some of them look a little bit confused or frustrated. Let me see if I see flabbergasted. I love that word. Let's see if there's anybody looking a little flabbergasted. Not seeing that. Seeing some happy faces, not so happy, some confused, right? Some people look like they're a little bit happy to be doing their reading. Right? But like all of you said, and these are just a few, these are some of the feelings that can attribute or can affect our attitude. So some of us can be feeling super happy, some can be feeling really sad, angry, confused, grateful, content, and all the other feelings that you mentioned, right? Awesome. All right, so a positive attitude is also known as what? What's the other grown-up word that I mentioned that we could also use for positive attitude when you guys go home today and impress your parents? What is that word?
Mickey says positive mindset.
Okay, does anybody else put in the chat what it is?
Let me see. Joy says positive mindset. And positive mindset. Jenna, positive mindset. Mustafa, joyfulness. Mahalia, positive mindset. Maya, a non-negative.
A non-negative. Love it, Maya.
Logan, positive mindset. I think they remember.
They remembered. And you know that I'm the queen of superpowers. I believe that everybody has a superpower. I believe also that people have more than one superpower. And one of the superpowers that is so super, super duper important, or super, super dope, depends how you want to put it, is your mindset or your positive mindset. And it's really important. Why do you think it's really important to have a positive mindset?
Blake says having good thoughts.
Okay.
Mickey says
it can help clear your mind.
Oh, that's a good one. She says it can help clear your mind.
Let's give Mickey some snaps for that. What else?
Anne says it helps to calm you down.
Okay.
Madeline says help you work better in school. Yes.
Absolutely.
Joy says it affects your everyday life. Jenna says it prevents depression. Oh, I love you guys' answers. How smart are you guys? You guys are amazing. I love the KiddieNomics community. It makes you smart, says Blake. Abiyat says work hard. Maya also says you can stay productive and not stressed.
Oh, Maya, you're coming out with all the nuggets today. Wow, a couple snaps for you.
Logan says, so you don't mind, so you don't, if your parent, so I guess you're saying if you don't mind if your parents have an attitude, if your parents.
Well, I think that he's saying like your parents don't, like you have a good attitude to your parents.
Oh, you have a good attitude to your parents. Okay, perfect. Hi, Layla. Oh, so you give your parents good attitude. Yeah. Got it, Logan. Got it. Layla says makes you smart. Hardworking helps with you becoming hardworking. Cheryl says sad equals strong, depressed, dejected, heavy, crushed. I'm not sure what we're talking about there, Cheryl, so we're gonna go on.
Okay. So let's take a peek at the next slide. Right. So we talked about why. You've given some reasons why. So let's just break it down for family. Why is it important to have a good attitude or a positive attitude at home with your family? Why would that be so important?
Why would that be important to have a good attitude at home or a positive mindset? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, or just a positive attitude. Why would that be important? And let's remember that we got to be responsible for ourselves. So we need to also make sure that we are, and will you be in a positive mindset all the time? I want to go back to that other slide, right? Is it really, can we always, always, always be in a positive mindset?
No.
No, It's not normal. It's okay for some days not to always be feeling happy and on top of the world. We're human beings, so we're going to feel sad some days, we're going to feel happy some days, we're going to be confused at times, we're going to be feeling gratitude. So we're always going to have different emotions. However, the most consistent attitude that you want to try and have or mindset is a positive one. So when you're at home with your family, why is it really important that you try to have a positive mindset?
So let me read a few and then okay, go ahead, Michaela.
It shows that you're being respectful and you're having a calm attitude to them.
Ooh.
Respectful. That's awesome.
That's for you, Mickey.
Elias says, because you have to have a good relationship with your family.
Okay.
Layla says to be good. Mustafa says your face in French class. I love Madeline's answer too. She says, so you can keep your devices.
So you can keep your, what? I'm curious. If you don't have a good attitude, why would you lose your devices?
You're not.
I'd love to hear that in the chat. Why would you lose your devices for not having a good attitude?
Oh, so Madeline can help answer that question, right?
Mhm.
Joyce, because you need to respect your parents and act kindly to your siblings. Oh, I love your answer too. Always be nice to your siblings.
Always be nice to your siblings.
Okay, it's important because you need to respect your family, says Anne. Layla says sometimes you're stressed. Maya says so the household is productive. Mustafa says so you can continue to watch TV.
Right. Awesome. And also to support your family. And as Maya said, love that answer too, that you want to be productive, right? So if if everybody doesn't have a good attitude in the house, what happens? It's not going to be a productive and happy home, right? So you want to be able to support. And I think, like Michaela said, you want to be supportive and to help and be respectful to everybody else around you. So that's awesome. What about at school with your teachers? Why is it important that you have a positive mindset at school, not just with your teachers, but even with your friends? But the person that's writing your report card is going to be speaking about your attitude. So why is it important that you're observed in the classroom with your peers and your friends of having a good attitude? What does it show? Let's see if we can get some answers in the chat.
Yep.
So it shows that you're being respectful to to your classmates and that you're understanding the supportive things.
Okay, good. Good answer.
Awesome. Elias says, because it could affect your mark in certain ways. That's a good answer.
Good answer.
That's a good answer. Madeline says, so they can have a good day and they don't get stressed because you're misbehaving. That's an awesome answer. Maya, so Maya says, if you do not listen to your teacher and you're talking to your friends, you will not learn anything.
No.
That is so true. That is so, so true.
Blake says that you're focusing and listening to them. Layla says, be graceful. Mustafa says, so you can go to a good university.
Okay.
Ed says, to show that you're ready for your work. Jenna says, because you can get good grades on your behavior. Joy says, so students and teachers don't have a bad reputation about you, and so you can be productive. Valerie says,
good reputation. I like that.
Yes.
A good reputation is everything, and part of your attitude is part of your reputation and your track record. Snaps for that. Who else?
Valerie says, so you can affect, because it could affect your grades. Khalifa says, be nice to your teacher. Oh, Layla says, so you can get a good job.
Okay. All right. And what about okay, so who just said about the job?
I think it was
Layla.
Layla. That's right. So she kind of jumped ahead. So for your boss, why is it important for you to have a good attitude and a good positive mindset at work? Michaela.
So you can keep your so they can
So you can keep your
no wait
job?
so no write a good report about you and tell other people how nice and respectful you are.
So
Okay.
they can write a good report.
Okay. Awesome.
Let me see. What did the kiddies say? They say, so you don't get fired, says Jenna. You're fired.
Fired.
That's a good one, Jenna. Blake says, well, not all of us. Okay. Layla says to learn a lot to get a good job.
Mhm.
Valerie, can you retype your answer for me, please? Micah says, so you can get a promotion. That's an awesome answer. Anne says, so that they won't fire you. The kids, they really know about being fired if you don't have a good mindset.
Fired.
Yes. So you will feel good about your hard work, says Joy.
Oh, I love that. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Madeline says, so you will get paid.
Yes, gotta get that money.
Maya says, if you have no positive mindset, you will not get your work done, and that will keep you up, and you are fired.
Fire.
Fired.
Mahalia says, so that you have a good reputation. God's will says, so you don't get fired. Madeline, so you get paid. Oh, okay, Layla, you're Kelsey. Okay, got it. Elias says, because if you don't have a good attitude with your boss, it will be on your resume and other employers will not want to hire you.
Woo!
Elias!
Snap. Yes.
I'd give you my bomb sound effect, but none of the kids like it.
No,
I
I
need to get a new sound effect.
Oh, we need a sound effect for that one, Miss Stacy.
Okay.
Let's see what it sounds
None of
like.
the kids like that one. I have to work on my sound effects. I'm getting new ones. So
Okay.
don't worry. All right, let me find, oh, here's the bomb. I'll give you the bomb. And
How do you know which one is the bomb?
this one. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Why does that sound like a fire?
I don't know about that one, Miss Stacy. I'm not sure about that bomb.
Yeah, there you go. I gotta get a new sound effect for the bomb. It's a very important one, and I never use it because nobody likes it.
I don't have one. Next time I'll bring one. I've got some good ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait, Anne says that sounded awesome, so I got one person.
Okay.
I like that one too.
And Mickey says too.
Okay.
All right, let's get back
Awesome.
to it.
All right. So one of the things I want you to remember when we go on to the next page is we want you to check your attitude. Some people say check your attitude. But I want you to think about your positive attitudes and your not so positive attitudes. But also remember that you're in charge. It's your superpower, so you are in full control. So I want you to think about your attitude when you're at work, home and at school for the most part. And your job and your work could be volunteering. It could be doing your chores. So for instance, if your parents say, every weekend, I'd like you to wash the dishes, or I'd like you to clean your room, or I'd like you to put away your clothing. It could look like at school when they ask you to help others tidy up. It could look like I'd like you to get down to your work. I'd like you to pay attention. And with what was the other one? School, work, and home. So we talked about chores. So I want you to think about what is your attitude? What is your attitude when you're being asked to do things? Because if you're not in a positive mindset, your attitude shows through your body, because what we think is how we act and how we behave. So if you're not, yes, Stacey.
Sorry, Madeline would like to know, how do you check your attitude when you can't see it?
Oh, but you can feel it. So let's go back a couple of slides where we spoke about, oops. So it's what type of feelings, oh, I'm sorry. So your attitude is a feeling or a way of thinking that affects a person's behavior. So let's just say someone gives you a task or a job that you don't really want to do at that time. So let's think about, when I was your age, a long, long, long time ago, my parents would say to me, "Can you please put all the shoes in the closet?" But I would rather watch cartoons. So I would pout and not feel very happy about it. And that would change my disposition or my body language to show that I wasn't pleased. So then my attitude changes. It's a feeling that you have. But the thing is that the other person can see it, right? So when your parents aren't happy with you, or your sibling isn't really pleased with something that you've done, you see a little thing in their body change, and that is called your attitude, right? When your parents say to you, "I don't like your attitude," they see a change in your behavior because you're not looking happy and willing to do the things that they want you to do. So that's how you gauge how your attitude might shift, or somebody looking at you saying, "I'm not really liking your attitude right now." Does that make sense? Put a yes in the chat if that makes sense. That
Nikki
makes
says
sense?
yes.
Okay, thumbs up from
Yes,
Michaela.
Jenna. Yeah, Jenna says yes, and yes, Godswill, yes, Layla, yes, Madeline, yes. Yep, all the kids are saying yes.
Right.
Says
So,
yippee.
so the feeling that you have when your parents, or like I said, a friend gives you good news, or you heard sad news, or you don't feel happy about something that someone's asking you to do, and you're not really willing to do it, or you are really willing to do it, and we'll talk a little bit about what the behaviors look like. I want you to think about your attitude, your mindset most of the time. How many of you would say that for the most part, if you had to give yourself a number between 1 and 5, for the most part, out of 1 out of 5, I give myself a 4 out of 5 for being in a positive mindset. Sometimes I'm not in a positive mindset because I'm not happy about something, or I'm not feeling good about something. And that's okay, because we have to own our feelings, right? So if you had to give yourself a score from 1 to 5 about your attitude, generally how you feel, what would you give yourself? I'm going to give myself a 4 for positive mindset, because some days I don't always feel happy about things, and that's okay. How about you, Miss Stacy? What number would you give yourself?
I would give myself a 4 because I am not, there's days that you are just not happy that day. So I would give myself a solid 4 out of 5. What does Mickey say?
It's a 5 because I can't control my anger. Why did I say it like that?
But then does that mean that you have a positive attitude all the time?
Well,
That's
not
what the grade.
all the time. But
So then you can't get 5 out of 5 if you don't always have a positive attitude.
oh, okay. I'll give it a 4.
And you give yourself a 4. Let me see.
And you know what, guys? Here's the thing. Since we own our feelings and we own our attitudes and we own ourselves and our decisions and the way that we think, we can always improve. I'm actually working to get it to maybe a 4.5, because sometimes I feel like, you know what? I wasn't happy about this request or this thing, but I can work on it. I think sometimes I know that somebody else that I was working with had a 3, and they've kind of moved it now to a 3.5 because they said, you know what? I really started working on changing how I treated other people. And we'll talk a little bit about what we can do to have a positive mindset and a positive attitude. So I'm curious to know, what numbers did you put down in the chat where you feel that your attitude, where is your attitude?
So Ivy says 4 out of 5. Logan, 4 out of 5. Maya, I'm a 3.5 out of 5. Anne says 1 out of 5. Joy says 3.7 out of 5. Layla is 5 out of 5.
Woo, Layla.
Madeline says she would give herself 3.2 to 3.3, I think, out of 5.
3.2 Oh.
Elias, 3.1 out of 5. Layla, didn't I? 3.3 out of 5. Blake, 4 out of 5. Kamoya says 0 out of 5, which I don't believe that one.
I don't believe that. I
No.
don't believe that at all.
I don't believe that one. So let me see. Anne says she meant 4 out of 5, not 1 out of 5. I believe that one. Khalifa says 4 out of 5. Godswell, 3.4 out of 5. I love that everybody's using decimals. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Like your fractions are awesome.
Yeah.
Madeline, I did you 3.2 out of 5. Leslie says 3.4 out of 5. Blake, 3.5 out of 5. Micah, 3 out of 5. Maya, yes, KiddieNomics is the best. Yay!
Hey.
Jenna says 3 out of 5. Khalifa, 4 out of 5. Okay, now you guys are repeating. Let me see. Yep, I think I have everybody.
Fantastic. So it looks like the average number is about 4 out of 5. And I think that that's a good place. What I would love to know is Layla's secret for 5 out of 5 on her check your attitude score. That is, what is your secret, Layla? Tell us quickly, how is it that you maintain a 5 out of 5 with your attitude? What is it that you're doing? I'm curious. I think all the numbers were great. I don't believe the 0 out of 5. There's no way, because there has to be things that give you joy, right? The things that give you joy will help your attitude, will help you feel good about yourself so that you can do other positive things for yourself and for other people, right? So I think you might have made a little bit of a mistake. But Layla, who had a 5 out of 5, I'm curious what it is that you do to maintain a positive mindset and a positive attitude.
Layla says, I love everything.
Wow, good for you. Click, 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 clicks. Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
let's talk a little bit about what does it look like. And I think Michaela mentioned some areas. So, and I think some of the other kiddies in the room mentioned as well, talked about confidence and kindness, responsibility, patience, cheerfulness. What else did I miss, guys? What else, how else does a positive mindset, what does it look like? Let's see who's got some other ideas in the room. I didn't want to write down all the answers.
So Layla says patience.
Yes.
And Anne says respect.
Absolutely.
And
W-Y-N.
and Mickey says caring?
No, yeah, Karen.
Caring.
Yes. Why is caring important for having a positive mindset, Michaela?
Because when you care, oh my gosh, when you care about something, it means that you care like you care about a person. That means that you have like respect for them and you do like
100%. Right. So I want you guys to know, and when you put in the chat, these are your superpowers for controlling your own mindset and your own positive attitude. So what I want to know in the chat is, what is your superpower when it comes to having a positive mindset and a positive attitude? And I think that Michaela mentioned hers was caring. I love that.
So Anne says listening, which is awesome.
Oh my goodness, such a great skill.
So important. Not many adults even have that skill.
I love that you mentioned that. Listening is so important. It shows that you care when you can lean in and listen to somebody else's perspective, their point of view, or their reason for thinking the way they do. So I love that, listening. What's another one, Miss Stacy?
Logan says loving.
Loving. I love that too. Loving is such, you know what? When you love someone or love something, it just warms your heart. So I love that.
Joy says faith.
Oh, 100%. Right? You have to believe. Tell it, who mentioned that?
Who did I just say? Hold on, I'm scrolling back up. Logan.
Logan, tell us, Logan, why faith
Loving.
is important for your mindset. How does faith help with your mindset? I love that answer. Michaela will.
Faith. Who wrote Faith again? Sorry, I'm going to scroll
It
back
said
up.
Logan, I think.
Was
No,
it Logan? I
Logan
don't
said
think it was
loving.
Logan. Hold on. It was Joy. Sorry, Joy.
Oh,
Because I'm like,
Joy.
what's it Logan? Logan did loving.
Loving.
Joy says faith. So maybe Joy can put in her answer in the chat. And then a couple of other kids say humble. And Jenna says humble. Just Blake says justice.
Oh, I have another one.
And Mickey, you got more?
A heart.
Yes. Loving.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Loving and caring is Michaela all day.
I love this one. Leslie says uplifting.
Uplifting is your superpower. What else? Who else has some more superpowers?
And there's two. Adonis says, my superpower is honesty. Woo-hoo!
That is a definite key, because you know what? Another grown-up word for honesty, if someone can put it in the chat, it begins with an I. When I look for people who are honest about what it is that they can really do versus not focusing on the things that they can't do, but telling the truth about what they can do and not embellishing or lying about their skills, there's a key word that goes along with honesty. It begins with an I. If somebody can tell me what that is, that would be amazing. Another grown-up word for you to take to your parents.
All right, so let's see if the kiddies get that. I can put on the Jeopardy music.
We can come back to that one, yeah.
But Joy says her name, Joy.
Okay, awesome, Joy.
And let me see. Wait, I missed somebody. My superpower. So Ibby says my superpower is confidence.
Love
Maya,
that.
isn't that awesome? Maya says integrity.
Ooh, Maya is coming with all the nuggets today.
And then Anne says integrity. Valerie says initiative. You guys are these are wonderful words.
These are smart kiddies. These are the smarties, I was gonna say the smarties.
The smartest, right?
Kids I've
Yes.
ever seen.
Aren't they?
Who else has some superpowers? We're gonna come back to the I word in just a minute. What other superpowers do you have?
Mickey has an answer.
Sure, Mickey, go ahead, honey.
Kindness, confidence. That's all.
Caring and confidence is Mickey's superpower, which is awesome. Okay, and Kamoya says her superpower is kindness.
Excellent.
Oh, Logan says my superpower is leading with love. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, Logan, that's a love fest with you.
Blake says you can be unstoppable in your own way, right? That is awesome. Ooh, Jenna says bravery.
Excellent.
Naza says strategizing.
I love that. I love the bravery, because you know, when you're brave, that means that you are expecting a positive outcome. And so that shows a lot of courage. It shows that your willingness to take that extra step. So I love bravery. That's a different one. I never thought of that one. Excellent.
Isn't it? Okay, let me see. We have 5 more and then we can collaboration with others says Joy. Courage says Layla.
Collaboration. Collaboration shows confidence. It means that you're willing to listen to others' point of views and share ideas so that you can reach a common goal. So I love that collaboration bit. Anybody else?
Maya says my superpower is helping others in need.
Excellent. Never lose that superpower. Fantastic. Was there anything else?
Khalifa says believe.
Belief is another one. Believe that you're going to see a positive outcome. So that's all part of having positive thinking that, you know what, the best is yet to come, the best will happen in this situation, and you can help others to be more positive in their thinking and in being an encouraging light for other people as well. So the word with honesty, and I forget the name of the person who mentioned it, The other word is right. I think Maya mentioned it as well as a few others about the word integrity. Integrity, guys, make that please part of your superpower. So where there's honesty is integrity. Can you put that in the chat? With honesty comes integrity. And I want you to know that in the workforce, at home, at school, wherever you go, when you are honest, it means that you have integrity and you do things, whether integrity shows up, whether somebody's watching you do what you do, or if they're not watching you, because you have you will be coming from a place of self-respect, being honest, and doing the right thing. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody is looking. Okay, so with honesty comes integrity. How many people have written that in the chat?
Quite a number. Micah wrote it, Logan wrote it, Anne wrote it, Jenna wrote it, Leslie wrote it, quite a number of them.
Right, so you want to know that it's super, super important to always, right, be positive and be okay to own how you feel, but always when you're feeling maybe not the best, to always come back to the positive mindset and do things that make you feel better, like confidence, being kind, loving, caring, being patient, having cheerfulness, being a good listener. I think somebody else mentioned that earlier, which I think is a great skill to have. And just remember to own your feelings and be positive. And that pretty much concludes today's session.
Yay!
Sharing your superpowers with us. Thank you for participating.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yay!
I had so much fun.
Fantastic. Madeline inserts claps. Maya says she doesn't want to go.
Aw, Maya.
Mickey says this was really fun. So we always love having you on KiddieNomics. So thank you so much, Miss Jane. Everybody, thank you, Jane.
Give themselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for participating. And always remember to do your best. And remember that honesty and integrity are the key values that you want to have always. And a positive mindset.
And a positive mindset. We learned a lot today. So thank you, Miss Jane. So I'm going to wrap up, guys, so that we can finish up for 6 o'clock. So Miss Jane, I'm going to ask you to stop sharing your screen.
Hey.
Please and thank you. So I can wrap up. Before you guys go, let me get through some stuff, okay? All right. Hang on. Am I frozen? Oh, there we go. It's kind of frozen. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So last question that we ask for every KiddieNomics session is, what would happen if kids became more financially literate? And our answer is real change that impacts the world, right? Because we believe that financial literacy is so core to your foundation, and that the more that you guys learn and develop these skills and you hone in on them, so that as you get older, the world is your oyster, and you guys will be able to achieve whatever it is that you want to do and be. And you guys have a multitude of all the things that you guys have told us on KiddieNomics that you want to be. Everything from being a chef to being an analyst to being a basketball player to being tennis player to being a police officer. You guys had so many things. So we just want you guys to be able to be whatever it is that you choose to be, and financial literacy will help to get you there. All right. So I always call you guys our young financial literacy ambassadors. What is an ambassador? An ambassador is an authorized messenger or representative. So all of you kiddies represent KiddieNomics. When you guys go out there, and I hear from parents that you guys, you talk about KiddieNomics to your friends and to your family, and tell your parents everything that you've learned on KiddieNomics, you guys are our ambassadors. So please, we believe because Miss Jane always talks about superpower. So talking about our superpower, knowledge is KiddieNomics' superpower. So in order to get more stronger, you have to share it, right?
Yay.
The more you share your knowledge, the stronger that you will become, and other people around you will become very strong also, okay? So please continue to represent KiddieNomics, continue to share KiddieNomics, tell your friends and family to join KiddieNomics and come on in because we always have a fun time, right? All right, so our upcoming schedule for the remaining of this month and going into March. So next week we have the incredible, incomparable Miss Hadriana Leo. She will be on Friday, February 26th. We are going to go back to credit. So credit is one of those pillars of financial literacy. You really need to learn about credit. So this is a very, very, very important topic. And we're going to talk about good credit, okay? And then after that, we have the amazing Miss Andrea Pert. We're going to talk about first-time home buyers for kids. So you want to know, okay, maybe when you guys get older and you may be, 20 years old or whatever it is, and you want to figure out how to buy your first home because you've saved for a down payment, we're going to help you guys do that. You guys are going to learn from a very young age so that you know what to do as you get older. So we're going to talk about first-time home buyers. Then on March 12th, we have a very special webinar, and I'm going to talk about that more in a minute, but we're going to have Dr. Jill Andrew come in, and she's going to talk, she's going to take questions from you guys about politics. So that's going to be a very special one. I'm going to talk to you more about that one in the next slide. After that, we have Miss Kadira Jackson, and Miss Kadira is going to talk to us about how to run for a political position. She's currently running for the MP in the Scarborough riding in Canada. And we're going to talk about how do you guys get involved if you do want to get involved in politics. And maybe you may decide, that you at 19 want to run for a political position. So you can. And so we're going to talk about that, how to run for politics. And then the end of the month, we're going to have the amazing Ryan Henry. And we are going to be talking about commercial real estate. So like the buildings, those big commercial buildings, the plazas, we're going to talk about commercial real estate, okay? All right, so that going back to that webinar for March the 12th, it's really important. I've been asking you guys now for a few weeks, and with your parents' permission, please send me an email on a question that you may have for Dr. Jill Andrew that may be pertaining to like the government, our government, or politics in general. Like one of our questions that we will be asking Dr. Jill Andrew, and this is one is from Michaela, will be, what are the different levels of government and what do they do? So that's one of the questions from us, but I want to hear from you guys. So talk to your parents and come up with a few questions, and please send me an email to kiddienomics101@gmail.com with your parents' permission, of course, and let me know what questions that we can ask Dr. Jill Andrews, okay? All right, and we have another special KiddieNomics edition because Marcy Ian, formerly of The Social, will be coming on KiddieNomics on Friday, May the 21st. So Miss Ian is now the MP for Toronto riding, and she's going to talk to us about the power of pivoting. And so if you have any questions, so she has been a news anchor, she has been a host on a daily talk show, and now she is in a political position. She's the MP in the Liberal Party. And so if you guys have any questions for Miss Marcy Ian, please send me an email to kiddienomics101@gmail.com, okay? We're going to be talking about the power of pivoting with Miss Marcy Ian. So we're super excited about that webinar, and of course, all of our webinars that we have with the amazing guest experts that we have that share their knowledge to you kiddies on KiddieNomics. All right. So in general, as you guys are ambassadors, I encourage you every week, if you guys have a topic that you would like to discuss, please send me an email with your parents' permission, of course, and let me know what is it that you guys want to discuss and talk about. Because when you send me stuff, I do find you the experts to let's, have that topic on and talk about it, okay? So I've had a few requests, so I am working on those. But please continue to send me your requests, because the more ideas that you give me, the more experts I can have on to talk about that you want to learn about, right? And of course, you can always, please like and follow us on
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And somebody did ask, I think it was you that asked me, did I learn the renegade dance yet? I think it was you that did ask me that question, right? So I have not learned this renegade dance yet. I'm like way behind.
It was a couple of months ago, and I showed her the video all the way in slow motion. She couldn't even understand one.
I know. I'm gonna get to it. So I'm gonna get to learning this dance, but we will eventually put up some TikTok videos. And so I will eventually get down some of these dances. I was an awesome dancer, so I'll get it down.
I'm a better dancer than you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining KiddieNomics this week. Thank you, Miss Jane, for joining again. We love having you on. You were amazing. Everybody have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.